Thank you very much for coming. On behalf of Rugby Canada, I'd like to welcome you all for this press conference. I have the pleasure of introducing Gareth Rees, our MC for today. And Gareth has represented Canada 55 times. Gareth played in the 1987 World Cup as a young lad, and 91, 95, 99. He also played professional rugby over in Europe with the Wasps, captained Cambridge and Oxford. Thank you. I knew I'd make a small mistake. Oxford. And it's a pleasure to introduce Gareth Rees. And come on up, Gareth. And no hint for not having a tie on, but I'd like to present you with a 2007 World Cup tie. Since it's been about close to 10 years since you've played for Canada. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thanks, Rick. Welcome, everyone. Good to be back in the Fairmont again. Just to introduce, for those who aren't aware, why Rugby Canada is in Vancouver. They're out here for their semi-annual general meetings, and all the staff and representatives are here, and there's been some workshops going on just to keep getting better, and also all our provincial representatives are here. So it's a great opportunity, and it obviously coincides with what I think is a fantastic announcement for Rugby Canada. And I'll announce here that the new Rugby Canada coach for the men's national team is Kieran Crowley of New Zealand. So Rugby Canada is very excited that he's coming, leaving his home in New Zealand, is coming to join Rugby Canada. So it's great news, and I know if I represent here the rugby community at large, and some former players in my case, we're very, very happy with this appointment, and it's a pretty exciting time for Rugby Canada. Kieran obviously has had to travel some distance. Fortunately for him, we have been partnering. We have the support. They're proudly supported by Air New Zealand, as you'll see here, are getting involved and are supporting Kieran's appointment and helping with his flights. Just recently taken an Air New Zealand flight with a school group, and it was fantastic, non-stop flight from Vancouver to Auckland. So it's great that they're on board and to help and support Kieran's movement. But also, it's a fantastic trip for anyone who is used to going through Honolulu or LA to get down there. I would highly recommend it. So I will let the camera get to Kieran. Kieran Crowley is a pretty impressive individual. He's a New Zealand All Black and won the first World Cup in 1987 with the New Zealand All Blacks. My rugby fan here, I'll say that's the last time they've won it, which is a highly contested issue in New Zealand, but Kieran was a part of that team. I suppose last night I was watching some of the sports highlights, and I was watching the coaches, and the Guy Carbonneau's Montreal Canadiens were playing against Claude Julien, who was coaching the Bruins, and I think we've got a similar situation here in that Montreal is a fantastic ice hockey brand, produced great leaders and great coaches who are throughout the league now in the NHL, and very much the same thing has happened with the New Zealand All Blacks. There are 5, I believe, international coaches now coaching around the world, and I think it's a credit to Rugby Canada that we've now tapped into that, and Kieran will be our new head coach and brings all that expertise and all that knowledge. So it's wonderful. Kieran's specific history, as I said, was a player, a fullback for the All Blacks, played in the 87 and 91 World Cups. He is a Taranaki man. He's coached the provincial side there, and anyone who knows anything about New Zealand rugby knows that is the hard heart and home of tough New Zealand rugby. So again, I've spoken to a few ex-players, and I think they're really excited that Kieran and his brand, I know he's a very hard taskmaster, is coming to work with our Canadian boys, and I think it's something that Canada's proud of, and I'm sure Kieran will breed that in our players. More recently, he's been an All Black selector, which is a very hard job to get down there, picking their national team, and has had wonderful success on the world stage, coaching the New Zealand under-19 team to a world championship. So this man is no stranger to success, no stranger to hard work, and it gives me a great pleasure to welcome to Vancouver and to Rugby Canada, Kieran Crowley.
Yeah, thanks, Garrett, for that introduction, and I'd just like to say that I'm very proud and honoured to stand before you as the national team coach of Rugby Canada. I've got to agree with a couple of things that Garrett said about it is a bone of contention that we've only ever won one World Cup in New Zealand. But now I'm going to be ensconced here in Canada. I'd certainly like to think that when the next World Cup comes around that we're a force to be reckoned with in that as well. So hopefully I can be involved in 2 pretty good World Cup campaigns. I'm excited to be here, to work alongside the people that are here. I've walked straight into an AGM, which is great for me because it's allowed me to meet people and, put names to faces and also get to understand a little bit about all the systems and all the hard work that's going on here. And I've certainly been impressed with what I've seen, that what is happening here in Canada, and hopefully that I can add to that and enhance the systems and the procedures that are going on, and particularly move forward with the national team. I know early on I'm going to have to rely on a lot of people, and there's some good people in place. The management team around the national team, they know the players. We're very shortly into Churchill Cup, and I'll be relying a lot on them and relying a lot on the high performance area that are already up and running. And they have some very good systems in place, as I've said, and I'll certainly be relying on them. I have, my philosophy coming here is long term. I want to get out and I want to meet the people. I want to meet people in the provinces and work alongside them as well. I think the job of the role of a coach of a national team is to get out to the provinces and be seen, and also work alongside those people. So certainly that'll be something that I'll be endeavouring to do. I realise the vastness of the country and there's challenges in that, but certainly it is something that's high on the list of priorities. It'll be, like I said, I'm here for the long term, and results won't be instant from my point of view. Certainly, as I've already said, the systems that are in place are good, and I've just got to add to them, and hopefully, the results will come from that. If they come earlier, well, that's great, but we'll have to see how things go. Certainly also appreciate the support of Air New Zealand and getting here, and that was my home, New Zealand. My family comes over at the end of June or beginning of July, wife and 3 children, so Canada will be our home for the next how many years, and like I said, I'm very proud and privileged to be here, and I'm very open door policy. I mean, if people want to have a chat about something and talk about something, I'll always listen. I won't always agree, but I'll always listen and take things on board. So thank you for the welcome and the introduction and the support. I've been very impressed with the people I've met, and I look forward to working with you all over the next 4 years. Thanks very much.
I think we'll leave it there, and feel free to pick up Kieran individually for whatever you need. Just want to mention we have 2 recent current national team guys, Aaron Abrams and Mike Weber, both here, who are members of the national team, and Aaron is involved with the Rugby Canada Foundation. Thanks everyone, and Kieran is obviously Gareth Rees, and we're here in Vancouver announcing the new appointment to Rugby Canada as the national men's coach of Kieran Crowley from New Zealand. Kieran's come here via Air New Zealand, and I'm joined by Melanie McCauley to announce the partnership we have with Kieran in supporting his trip to Canada.
Yeah, Gareth, thanks. We launched the flight in November with 3 flights a week, and we're absolutely thrilled with the strength and demand for this flight. So we've actually just announced a 4th flight. So starting in December in our high season, we're going to have a 4th flight. So we'll have 4 flights a week, and hopefully someday we'll have daily out of Vancouver.
Well, the good news for those of us who have done this flight, this is now a direct flight from Vancouver to Auckland. That's good news. So Kieran and his family will be able to come straight through.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's no stranger that rugby is a huge sport in New Zealand, and Air New Zealand themselves are mad about rugby. It must be great for you to be supporting Kieran's trip to Canada.
Absolutely, Gareth. Air New Zealand are fanatical sponsors of the All Blacks in New Zealand, have been for the last 10 years. So it just makes sense that we support Kieran while he's here in Canada.
Great. Gareth Rees here in Vancouver at the semi-annual AGM for Rugby Canada, and it's been a big day here. We've just announced the appointment of Kieran Crowley, former All Black and World Cup winner with the All Blacks, as Canada's new men's national team coach. Congratulations, Kieran.
Thanks very much, Gareth. Yeah, really looking forward to it. Yeah, it's pretty exciting times, and looking forward to it, like I say.
Yeah, I know you've only had a few days in the job, but what do you think some of the challenges are for the Canadian game?
Obviously, the vastness of the country is a challenge for a start. Also, the fact I think that a lot of players most of them don't start playing until they're 12 or 13. Just the innate sense of the rugby ability to play the game or make decisions under pressure, those sorts of things. But certainly, there's a lot of positives too. I think they're very athletic here. Athletes are physical. They're got a desire. They're proud of wearing the Canadian jersey, and it's something that I certainly align to as well in that respect. So. Yeah, there's some challenges, but there's also a lot of positives to work with as well.
Great. Well, as a good Taranaki boy, nice to hear you talking about the physical side of it. There are a few big lads here, and I suppose you've also joined the ranks of a lot of New Zealanders and some of your former teammates coaching international rugby. Is this a short stint for you, or are you here for the next World Cup?
No, it's a long-term one for me. I'm here definitely for the next World Cup, and I think. In New Zealand, you got the situation of you come through the grades and then you look to broaden your horizons, I suppose, and certainly develop. It's a career move, just like any other business might be. And this one has brought me to Canada, and I'm very grateful to them for the opportunity.
Well, good luck, and it's great to have you here. It's Kieran Crowley here in Vancouver, the newly appointed Canadian national rugby coach.